when one of my best friends ended up on the wrong end of a mortar in Chorwon, Korea, 6 months after he graduated from Port Jervis High School. And that was my inspiration for joining the Women's Army Corps, and I spent 3 years in during the Cold War. And I'm very proud of it. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank this group of taxpayers for giving women like me the opportunity to serve their country, and for you to pay for the education that we received, which was phenomenal. Thank you very much. Okay. I think it's time for a little music. What do you think, gang? You getting Nancy? Oh, you want to hear? All right, let's hear John Monroe. We're going to have another vet. Oh, I know John.
And if Obama has his way, I'm not going to remove him much
John is a great tell it the way it is guy. I've seen him in action at Greenwood Lake and in Goshen. Welcome, John.
They're all telling me don't make it so long. It's a half hour too long.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to be very short today. I just want to read one or two things and then say a few things. And one is an excerpt from the inaugural address of Andrew Jackson, March 4th, 1829. As long as our government is administered for the good of the people and is regulated by their will, as long as it secures to us the rights of persons and of property, liberty and conscience, and of the press, it will be worth defending. Bob Novak, in his infinite wisdom, once said, "Always love your country, but never trust your government." Unfortunately, I feel Bob had an excellent insight into the workings of our government. Here we are. I love my country and don't trust my politicians. Obama is everything I've been against all my life. In 6 months, or 5 months, whatever you want to say, he destroyed everything I've ever believed in.
You got that right.
It was recently announced that Obama's, this Wednesday, he's going to give you a talk and give you his new medical program. Evidently, he hasn't gotten the approval of Nancy Pelosi yet, because he's already signed his rights over to her, and she's not going to let him say anything that she doesn't want.
She's a fucker too.
Now, I tell you something. Regardless of what happens with any program that comes up, there are things that you can be sure is going to happen. The plan we have now is just, whatever they come up with is going to be just another plan under another name. Same plan. The proposed plan is similar to the one in England and Canada. And this is supposed to be similar, not the same, but it's similar to it. They say it will not affect Medicare, Medicaid, and VA coverage. Well, how can it not affect Medicare when Medicare is practically in bankruptcy, and they want to take $550 billion to this new plan. They want to tax the rich, but how can 2% of the population pay for 98% of the population? You know what's going to happen? When you go to pay your income tax, your bill is going up. When employers realize it's going to be cheaper, they say you won't lose your coverage. But when employers realize it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper to drop the coverage they're carrying on you and pay the penalty, you can believe they're going to drop your coverage. Private plans are going to go down the tubes because it's just going to happen. Insurance companies will not be able to compete with the government, and you're going to have to take the government plan.
Okay, John.
That's what happens when you have a bad operation. You can't feel anything in your fingers. The whole health plan is a mess. Obama has lost control of it and is struggling to get it under control. It's understood that they want to come up with a co-op plan. The co-op plan is nothing more than the old plan. I realize there are problems with our present plan, but there's nothing you can't be corrected without destroying the plan you have and without spending a lot of money. It's basically $1.6 trillion. There's one thing I want to say. The Canadian plan is a disaster. And if you don't believe it, ask the Canadian Medical Association. The English plan is a disaster. If you don't believe it, ask the English Medical Association. You're getting a bunch of statistics from the government. We're number 47 on all these. What countries are they talking about? Afghanistan? You know, or Nigeria? We had the best coverage there is. How many of you have ever gone to the hospital and they turned you away? How many of you ever go to the emergency room and they say, come back next week, go home and take a pill? Or go home and take a pill and come back in 6 months if you're still alive? You know, then they come up with these green czars. You got 6 communists in them. You got 6 convicted criminals. And they're all his cronies. They're all buddies from Chicago or the vicinity. He never got approval from Congress. I want to know who's paying these people. Are you paying them or is he paying them out of his pocket? You know, I judge a person by the company they keep. And as far as I can see, those 37 czars Obama has working for him, either he's in bad trouble or we're in bad trouble. They are no good.
He's in bad trouble.
Now, I got one other thing I want to say and I'll hang up. The success of these people being operated on in different countries. Well, we have our own nationalized medical plans. We have one in Colorado, I think it's Colorado, where a woman had breast cancer. She went in to be treated under this nationalized plan. And she was 64 years old. And they said, lady, we'll help you die. We're only going to give you a pill to ease the pain, but we'll help you die. Because it costs $4,000 for your operation, and it only costs $54 for your pill. And that's a fact. There's people that have come down here from Canada that have been treated that couldn't get treated in Canada. And as a result, they came down here, and they were alive now. Where if they stayed in Canada, they wouldn't be alive. And you all know Suzanne Summers. I assume you do, especially the men. And she is Canadian. And she was on the television a while back telling about the experiences she had with the Canadian medical system. Her family, they're dying because of the Canadian medical system. Because they can't get treated. The only way they can get treated is to come to the United States. And one more thing. And I say, if the United States medical program is so bad, why are all these people coming here? And if they think it's so bad, go to their own doctors in their own countries. That's all I can say.